All right, we're back here on SportsLine, just past the bottom of the hour. Just heard from Kevin Stallings, introduced at Pittsburgh this afternoon. 17 years, long time at one place. That's how long he was at Vanderbilt. Now the Commodores are moving on, looking for a new head coach. Athletic Director David Williams spoke to the media this afternoon from Memorial Gym.
Looking forward to spending a little bit of time. We have Director of Athletics David Williams. He's going to make a brief introductory comment, and then he'll be glad to take your questions.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming. As you know, yesterday morning, or yesterday sometime afternoon, University of Pittsburgh announced that Kevin Stallings would be their new head football coach. Kevin spoke to me about 3 hours before that, very, very early Sunday morning, and told me he had been offered the job and was going to take it. Pitt had reached out to us earlier, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, to ask permission, or in our world to basically let us know the right way in which to do this, and they did do that. And our general position is we don't stand in the way of people talking, and so we were aware that they were talking to Coach Stallings, and I had talked to Coach Stallings. So as always, as Coach Stallings always has done, he did everything above board and in the open as it relates to us. I want to thank Coach Stallings, as I did in our statement, for his 17 years here. That in and of itself, as we said, is remarkable, to be 17 years anywhere in this business. He was a great coach. People may not want to agree with me. I think he was a great guy. He ran a wonderfully clean program. He took us to 7 NCAA tournaments, 2 Sweet 16s, 2 NIT appearances, won an SEC championship, the first one in basketball we had won in 60 years. We never had problems with his kids. His kids graduated and did well in school. And so we are indebted to Coach Stallings for his service to this university, and we wish him nothing but the best. We have already begun a national search for our next men's head basketball coach. We will use Eddie Fogler as a consultant. We will not hire a search firm as we've done in football, but we'll use Eddie Fogler as a consultant. We decided to use Eddie. Eddie was a former basketball coach here, as many of you know. He understands that aspect of Vanderbilt. Eddie also had a son that was a student athlete here who's graduated but played golf for us, so he understands Vanderbilt. And I've been on the phone to Eddie about 3 times a day, and he's already at work, hard at work for us. We'll do a search. We'll try to do it in effective time. I never like to put speed ahead of quality. I've had a long conversation with our chancellor. Our chancellor will be a part of the search, interviews, and decision making, as he has been with our last 2 football searches. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Was it your intention for Kevin to be your basketball coach next season, had somebody not asked?
I have never said anything to the contrary.
Have you, what type of parameters have you given Eddie Fogler of this is the box of that we would want? Head coaching experience, college experience, what parameters?
Yeah, I think that we're really looking at someone with head coaching experience. You know, I don't know if we'll isolate it to college experience, but certainly head coaching experience. We consider Vanderbilt to be a very special place, and one of the reasons we're going to use Eddie is I think that this is a place that not only do you think about coaching experience, but you also think about fit. This is not the right place for everybody, and so we do spend a lot of time making sure people understand what Vanderbilt is about and what Vanderbilt expects. And so we'll keep working through this, and you know, we'll look at people, and people will move up and people will move down. I can tell you already, and I know you'll ask for names, and I won't give any, so, but we've probably had over 100, 125 names thrown out. I will give you one, okay? My cousin from Birmingham, who has a chicken store, called me and offered the name of one of his cooks. He will not be hired.
What is the expectation from a winning standpoint for the new coach?
To win.
is there going to be an amount of tournament success or deep tournament success?
I think the way we evaluate is, and it would be wrong for me to say this is the standard that you have to meet. I mean, those things are really a byproduct of a lot of different things. There's great coaches out there that didn't have good years this year because they might have had an injury, a key injury. And so what we do is we evaluate, we assess and evaluate. And so we're not going to sit here and say you have to do A, B, C, D or you're gone. But we will say our expectation is to win. Our expectation is to win the right way. Our expectation is to graduate student athletes. Our expectations is to run a clean program. But our expectations is to win.
David, how prepared were you for this? There were a lot of conversations, even when I think Kevin's name was linked to the St. Louis job a week or so ago. I mean, do you think this could be on your table at some point coming up here, or was Sunday morning the first you thought, I might have coached?
I don't think St. Louis, I think St. Louis was a rumor. Coach Stallings heard the rumors and made sure that we understood that no one from St. Louis had contacted him. No one had contacted him about St. Louis, and that he just wanted us to know that. And so, this is a business where you're always ready, and you probably are never ready enough. I mean, but you always have to be ready no matter what the case is, because if you have good coaches, people are going to be interested in it's hard for me to remember a year where there wasn't a school that was not interested in Kevin Stallings. And so you always try to prepare yourself for that. And you watch a lot of games, you talk a lot, you look at coaches, and I just met with the players and explained to them, it's not the thing you wake up every morning wanting to do, but it's part of the job.
What would you say you have to be ready? Do you keep sort of a list of, these are guys that I want to keep in mind if I ever get to this situation, or are you using...
I'm going to answer that the same way I was answering football. Somebody asked me that, and I said, that's like asking me, do I have a list of women I'm going to marry if my wife dies?
So you're going to use Eddie Fogler to identify candidates for you, you're not giving him a list and saying, will you vet these guys for me?
As we've done before, I've given some names to Eddie, and Eddie's given us some names, and as I said, everybody, including my cousin in Birmingham, has sent names, and I'll send all those names to Eddie and say, Eddie, what do you think about my cousin's cook? But no, we give names, he gives names, and trust me, I'm sure before the week is out, some of you all will give me names.
David, what would you say to fans who think that after 17 years of Kevin Stallings, it was time for a change for this program? Not that Kevin wasn't somebody you admired and liked, but 17 years is a long time.
You asked me a question of what do I say to fans about that. I think fans have a right to their opinion.
Where would you like to see improvements in the basketball team going forward, basketball program?
Well, I think that there are things that we want to maintain and the things that we want to get better at, and I think if you ask anybody, everybody wants to do better than they could. If you are 28-3, you probably wanted to be 31-0. So obviously we won 19 games last year. We'd like to win more. We'd like to go further in the NCAA tournament. I think those things are obvious, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we have good kids who are good Vanderbilt students and they graduate.
Fans look at different candidates and say that person would get me excited in terms of marketing the program and all that. How much does that matter in choosing a coach?
Well, I think it has a factor in it. I mean, I think that we always try to look at what we need at any point in time, and certainly our marketing people will be involved in vetting some of this stuff and what will be the right strategy to market. But obviously marketing is part of it because it is a sport in which we are concerned about making sure that we sell tickets. So marketing is an important part of it.
The personality of the coach matters, though, in terms of their interaction with fans.
Oh, yeah.
you kind of tell us a little about the dynamic which you use. Coach Fogler, you said, give some names, and he'll give you some names. Like, is he actually like going out and like physically talking to people? Can you kind of tell us how that works?
I certainly hope so. Yeah.
So he'll travel, he'll meet with guys, he's basically your guy out in the field doing the legwork.
He's doing some of the legwork. I mean, we'll do some too, but Eddie knows people in the business, and Eddie knows people and knows people who know people. And so, yeah, we expect Eddie, and we've had the long talk, and yeah, Eddie will be doing a lot of legwork for us, but we'll be doing some also.